Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. So, have you guys ever, or when you were a kid, did you enjoy pelting your friends with snowballs, or building forts, or sledding down a hill and just railing your friends, moving them off their feet? Maybe you were nicer to them than I was, but nonetheless, I'm pretty sure that you enjoyed the winter and didn't care about how cold it was. And at least that's the way I felt. But you get older, you get some responsibilities, and then the winter is a really big burden. But I want to try to bring that magic back to you guys. The Weatherdance fountain is one of the first things I noticed when I moved here back in August to work for OPN Architects. And I noticed like how much it activated the public space, and that special just fountain that's secretly just hidden in the ground that comes up makes a really special moment on the pet home for everyone during the summer. But in the winter, it's pretty much useless. And the narrative of it is actually talking about the weather and all the different seasons from Nicholbus and Sears, who are the original inventors of the Weatherdance fountain. So the project that we're proposing actually has about a 50-year history. It started with Heinz Eisler back in the 60s or so, and he was really fascinated with thin shell structures. He was a Swiss architect and engineer, and so he did these ice sculptures in his backyard by just freezing sheets over poles and then removing the poles and making these really beautiful spaces. To accomplish this, he used catenary studies, which is basically draping a fabric from 2 points, and then it puts it in perfect tension using gravity, and then when you flip it back over, you can put it in perfect compression. So, as everyone here obviously knows, concrete works great in compression, but not in tension. So he's able to make these amazing span concrete structures with about an inch of concrete. 50 years later, MIT picks it up, and their architecture department does a winterim project called Forces Frozen, and makes these really beautiful sculptural objects. Next year, we do it at University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee in our courtyard on Saturdays and nights. And what we wanted to do differently was see how we could control the forms more by using seams and seeing how the water as a building material actually works. So as you can see in the middle image, you have the seams that collect more water and actually make these stronger groin vaults. And as you can see, my professor was really excited about it on the right. But this is the first time that it's actually been done as a public art installation. And so these are some of our sponsors. We have OPN Architects, who we work for. Most of our team is comprised of people that work there. And they are really excited to support this, to show their support for Iowa City and the fact that they are opening a new office in Iowa City this summer. We also have a chocolate bar and Cupcakes, so some really fun treats from Yotopia and Molly's Cupcakes, support from the downtown district, and then also live music from some friend of mine, Moody Womb, who makes these really spatial ambient beats. So the team is comprised of myself, who's organizing the project, Sam, who is actually here today. He's our chilling specialist and form finder. We have Jacob, who is doing documentation. The three of us all work at OPN currently. And then we also have Della Nuno, who is a sculpture student at University of Iowa. And the reason we brought her on was because sculpture students in general have more experience with textiles than architect students. She's bringing a whole new layer of texture and fabric, and we're using all reclaimed materials for this project. So, a little bit about our process. It's changed a little bit since the last 50 years. We have computers now and simulation technology to actually test these forms before we actually spend the money and build them. So that's a little bit about our process. Moving on to the actual site, we're going to have three different pillars. One at Clinton Street, one at Washington Street, and one at Lynn Street, all leading you into the Weatherdance fountain stage, which is where the actual congregation point will be. When you live with entrepreneurs, you can't not be on social media for some things, so we have started a hashtag on Instagram called #WinterWeatherdance, and you're actually going to have an Instagram competition there as well, so if you win, you'll get a cool little gift basket. So, one thing I'd like to leave you with, this is on February 12th, so architecture nowadays is more about building relationships between each other, between the built environment and nature, between us and how society views the world. But this project is about rebuilding the relationship between us and the season that is the most burdens to us. Thank you.